SQTV News coming to live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Ashma Uba. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with a breaking news from our young Scorpions. The Gambia's under-20 football team is through to the final of the under-20 AFCON in Egypt. They beat Nigeria 1-0 with an Adama Barrow goal. They will meet neighbor Senegal in the final after they dispatched Tunisia 3-0 in their semi-final. We will have a fuller report tomorrow. Congratulations to the team, and we wish them all the best in their upcoming games. We now take a look at the news headlines. President Adama Barrow presided over the 5th edition of the National Taxpayers Award on Saturday, where the Gambia Revenue Authority awarded 35 businesses for their tax compliance. At the Taxpayers Awards, QCell Gambia Limited has received 3 national awards for its outstanding tax compliance performance in the year 2022. As the Ministry of Health nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign progresses, the team visited St. Joseph Senior Secondary School in Banjul to vaccinate the students. Over the weekend, Rasastu Jineo International School held a speech and prize-giving ceremony to recognize outstanding students. Jennifer Sonko attended, and she filed this report. In international news, China's premier presented the Chinese government's work report at China's National People's Congress plenary session on Sunday. Now, those were the main headlines. The news in detail. President Adama Barrow presided over the 5th edition of the National Taxpayers Awards on Saturday, where Gambia Revenue Authority awarded 35 businesses for their tax compliance and timely filing of tax returns. And Sumani Sonyasi reports.
The National Taxpayers Awards is an initiative by the Gambia Revenue Authority to recognize, celebrate and encourage the nation's biggest and most compliant business sector taxpayers. From large to small-scale business and entrepreneurs operating businesses were all awarded. In his keynote address, President Barrow extolled GRA's performance, which he says has grown exponentially over the years, adding that an impressive growth from $8 billion in 2017 to $12.8 billion in 2022 was registered, and he credits the growth in tax revenue to his government's sound policy to expand the country's tax base, that thus tightening the loopholes across all national tax collection systems.
While we commend our development partners, who have continually provided tremendous support to the Gambian people in the form of grants and other types of assistance, we need to shift from depending heavily on foreign aid to relying more on domestic revenue mobilization.
Yankuba Dabo, the Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority, Abdou Diop, the Minister for Petroleum and Energy, who deputized for the Minister of Finance at the event, and Madam Lucy Faijan of the GRA Board of Directors, all spoke of the authority's impressive record and the need to further strengthen the authority's revenue generation through the expansion of the tax base and the use of technology. They also commended businesses, especially the awardees, for their compliance and timely filing of tax returns.
Taxes are critical pillars for development and growth of any nation, and the Gambia is not an exception. Therefore, it goes without saying that taxpayers play a significant role in the functioning of our democracy and in the prosperity of our country. Taxes are the grease that oils the government machinery, and without it, government can do little.
I congratulate all those who have been nominated to be recognized at tonight's award. I also commend all Gambians and the entire business community for honoring their obligations to pay their taxes. This demonstrates your love for our dear country.
Recognizing compliant taxpayers is a practice done by all good tax authorities in the world, and thus GRA is one of them. The importance of tax revenue cannot be overemphasized. As a 58-year-old independent country, relying on our taxes to fund our development is increasingly necessary.
At least 35 businesses in various categories were awarded, including QCell Gambia Limited, which won 3 major awards, first runner-up in the domestic VAT taxpayers, largest taxpayer of the year categories, and the biggest of all being the most outstanding tax-compliant GSM of the year. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
At those same taxpayers award, QCell Gambia Limited has received 3 national awards for its outstanding tax compliance performances in the year 2022. Answane Sonyasi looks at QCell's journey to becoming the most celebrated GSM company in the Gambia.
The brainchild of a young industrious Gambian entrepreneur specialized in providing quality, innovative IT services, Mohamed Jah, through his QuantumNet company, established what is the country's first and only Gambian-owned GSM company. Under his stewardship, QCell began commercial operations on July 1, 2009, adopting the slogan Sunyu Boss, a catchy phrase in the local Wolof language meaning ours. Since then, it has established itself as a leading establishment in the country's telecommunications industry. Jah, who quickly moved into one of the most respected entrepreneurs in the sub-region, now boasts several multinational businesses under the Q group of companies. Following years of exceptional service delivery, QCell was again recognized on Saturday by the country's tax authority for its compliance. The awards include first runner-up in the domestic VAT taxpayers, largest taxpayer of the year categories, and the biggest of all being the most outstanding tax-compliant GSM of the year, a milestone in the company's journey reflecting one of its slogans, Pride of the Nation. Lasana Tunkara, Senior Manager, Corporate Affairs at QCell, says the award reflects QCell's commitment to national development.
It's great that we win these awards, and you know, these awards are special. You'll often hear Mohamed Jah, our CEO, talk about the importance of paying tax and how that's a patriotic duty. So the fact that we've been recognized in 3 different categories is really, really exciting and humbling for us, and we appreciate it. And we thank all of our staff for the hard work they've done to get this far.
Mr. Tunkara sends a message of gratitude to QCell customers and gave assurances of the company's resolve to continue providing quality and affordable services for its esteemed customers.
QCell and the Q Group, when you use our products and services, you are contributing back to the Gambia, because we do what we can with the GRA to make sure our taxes are paid and paid on time. That's really important. Not just paying them, but paying on time. And I think the Director General, he kept reiterating that paying on time is an important part of being a compliant taxpayer. Oh, we have some really big things coming up. In fact, very soon we have some big announcements. And like we always do, we always say we innovate, others follow, is because we tend to lead the market in innovative, and not just innovative products, but effective products that benefit the Gambia population as a whole.
Since its establishment in 2009, QCell has made significant contributions to national development, especially in the education and health sectors, with interventions in the sciences in the form of scholarships to university students in the STEM area, and provided numerous relief support to disaster victims, from introducing lowest voice tariff in the Gambia to a 4G network, Q-Power, provision of electricity to over a dozen hospitals countrywide, Quranic competitions, support to the poor and the needy during the month of Ramadan, amongst others. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
Congratulations to the biggest GSM in the Gambia. Okay, we move on. As the Ministry of Health nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign progresses, the team visited St. Joseph Senior Secondary School in Banjul to vaccinate the students. Babukar Sise reports.
Round 9 of the countrywide vaccination campaign is bringing the vaccines closer to the people by visiting schools, markets and communities. Michael Manga Mendy, Acting Director for the Health Promotion, says the Ministry of Health 70% target has not been met yet. Thus, the need for another round of vaccination. He also spoke about the impact of misconceptions about the vaccine and the efforts the Health Ministry is making to convince the population.
As a ministry, through the Health Promotion and Education Unit, we have made a lot of efforts to clear out some of the misleading information that people believe in. And because they believe in them, this is why they feel reluctant. They have 2 minds to take the vaccine. But it's really, really taking us back. But we're still continuing with the effort, engaging the people, communicating to the people, and clearing those information, so that the take the vaccine.
Sidat Fofana, the program manager for the expanded program on immunization, EPI, gives assurances of the safety of the vaccines and took the opportunity to dispel some of the rumors as well.
The vaccines are safe. I know by now everybody is sure that all the rumors that have been rising have been proven to be false. There is nobody in this country who is vaccinated and died. Yes. So that is very clear. And all these rumors have died down. All those who were spreading them have kept quiet because they have been proven wrong. It created a lot of havoc. Some people had this, they believe it, they didn't take the vaccine. Unfortunately, they got this COVID-19 and they died. Can you imagine leaving young families behind? This is pathetic. So the vaccine is safe.
Children and adolescents are generally at low risk of infection, and if they become infected, it is likely to be mild. However, some children and young people have had severe experiences with the disease. Marietu Bojang, public health officer, explains the process of how the vaccines are being administered and urged the public to have confidence in them.
For those less than 18 years, we give them the Pfizer vaccines because the Pfizer is 12 and above. But for those 18 years and above, then they can take, it's optional for them. They can take either the Johnson & Johnson or the Pfizer. But we want to tell the population that the vaccine is safe. And so let them have the belief that we are not here to harm them, but we are here to protect them.
Khadijatu is among the students at St. Joseph Senior Secondary School who took the vaccine.
As a Gambian, I will encourage my mates to take this vaccine to protect ourselves, to protect our society, and to protect our state.
Age is the strongest risk factor of severe COVID-19 consequences. Patients with one or a multiple of certain underlying medical conditions are also at high risk. Additionally, being unvaccinated or not being up to date on COVID-19 vaccines also increases the risk of severe COVID-19 outcomes. Therefore, the public is urged to take the jab. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break, but when we return, we have more local as well as international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Alhaji Siddiq Labo, ntenga vaccination otale. Adum bal fan yamarale vaccination ota, men sintanka na banko kang ayen so jati ken leala.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News with me, Ashma Uba. Now, over the weekend, Rochester Junior International held a speech and prize-giving ceremony to recognize outstanding students. Jena Basonko attended and she filed this report.
As one of the leading schools in the Gambia, Rochester International School recognizes that speech and prize-giving ceremonies makes children feel their hard work is valued and cherished by the school authorities. The event was attended by parents, guests, and well-wishers. Mrs. Ndejalo is the proprietress of the school.
The school has grown very fast within 9 years. We are able to reach a high school level, and who knows where that would lead us, maybe a university. Now, last academic year, the students in both the junior and high school sat to the NAT and Cambridge examinations. Form 3 in the high school did both exams, that is the Cambridge and the NAT, National Assessment Test. Grade 6, the junior school, had their Cambridge assessment. 30 students sat to the exams. 7 students got distinction,
The highest was scored by Latif Sabali, who had 6.0 in English, Maths 6.0 again, and Science 6.0. Now, this is the highest mark any student can score. 11 students had merit. They scored between 6.0 and 5.0. 10 students got a pass mark ranging from 3.0 to 2.5. Only 2 students didn't perform well.
Sehu Bari got the Best Behaved Student of the Year. According to him, this award shows gratitude for his efforts in the academic year.
I feel fine. I feel great. I think by giving us a prize, it will help us motivate us and do more in the future. So I think I'll try more and get more in the future.
So what are your future plans?
My future plans are like to be the best engineer and do well in science. I love math and science, so yeah.
Mariama A.K. Silla scooped 4 awards: Best Math Student, NAT Best Student, NAT Higher Score, and Gabes Best Student.
It was a hard work, but eventually it all pays off, and I'm happy that I got all these prizes.
Dr. Abubakar Jah of Sarab Medical Hospital is the guest speaker of the event. His speech was mainly centered on the need to believe in the Gambia and its people.
The next one is patriotism, honesty, and discipline. We always feel foreign is better. The foreign doctor is better than the Gambian doctor. The foreign teacher better than the Gambian teacher. The foreign food better than the Gambian food. That is not patriotism. What we have to do is to like our own and feel that our own is best and develop our own to be best. We should be disciplined and honest. Corruption does not pay, and we have to try not to be corrupt.
As these children are awarded for their outstanding accomplishments, which shows approval and gratitude for each person's good work, Rosasta International School is one of the leading international schools in the Gambia with a proven track record of providing excellence in education. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
We are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
That story by Jenna Bosonko will lead us to international news. Now, China's most powerful state organ, the National People's Congress, convened its plenary session on Sunday. In the opening session, the country's premier presented the government's work report, which, among other things, sets a target to expand its economy, brings down inflation, and create 12 million urban jobs this year. Mamadou Lamin Choi is in Beijing. He has the latest.
China's political session is in full swing. With its legislature, the National People's Congress set to make big decisions for the world's second largest economy and most populous country of over 1.4 billion people. The National People's Congress convenes its session at the Great Hall of the People, and present is the Chinese President Xi Jinping and senior officials of his government. The session opens with the government's work report for the last 5 years, delivered by the outgoing Premier Li Keqiang.
Fellow deputies, the past 5 years have been truly momentous and remarkable. Under the strong leadership of the party's Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, we have met numerous tests, including accelerated changes on the international landscape, the COVID-19, and the domestic economic slowdown. We have won the critical battle against poverty and finished building a moderately prosperous society in all respects.
Premier Li reports that the Chinese government, under the leadership of President Xi, gave priority to stable growth, employment, and prices, which has resulted in a steady economic recovery in the face of a global economic crisis.
Overcoming great difficulties and challenges, we successfully maintain overall stable economic performance, and such achievements are a testament to the tremendous resilience of China's economy. We step up relief efforts, enterprise facing difficulties in operation the productions, and impact by COVID-19 and other factors.
On job creation, there has been a growth more than predicted in the last year. The government has managed to keep employment stable and create millions of urban jobs in the previous year.
The GDP over the year grew by 3%, and a total of 12.06 million urban jobs were added with the year, and survey urban unemployment rate fell to 5.5%. And CPI rose by 2%, and total volume of trading goods rose by 7.7%. A deficit to GDP ratio was kept at 2.8%.
In the battle against poverty, the Chinese premier shares figures that signal a significant milestone in improving the economic status of the Chinese people over the past decades.
The critical fight against the poverty was won. Thanks to 8 years of continued efforts, close to 100 million poor rural residents out of poverty. That's a total of 832 impoverished counties, including more than 9.6 million poverty-stricken people relocated from inhospitable areas. We have thus, once and for all, resolved the problem of absolute poverty in China.
Over the past 5 years, China's GDP increased to 121 trillion yuan, registering an annual growth rate of 5.2%. At the opening of the National People's Congress, Premier Li announced government's target to expand its economy by 5% this year. At this NPC session, China's legislature is expected to approve structural changes to the Chinese government, appointing a new premier and other leadership positions, as well as some major constitutional amendments. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News, Beijing.
Also in international news, today the 6th of March marks Ghana's 66th Independence Day, celebrated as a declaration of Ghanaian freedom from British colonial rule. Lena Igwenyiba looked through the history achievements of the country over the years.
The 66th independence anniversary in Ghana was held with the theme, Our Unity, Our Strength, Our Purpose. Thousands of people across the country and the world joined the official commemoration. The president of Guinea-Bissau, Umaro Sissoco Embalo, who is also the chairman of ECOWAS, also graced the parade as the special guest of honor. The Gold Coast, under British rule, Ghana, which also means warrior king in Mande Soninke language, is the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence from European colonial rule, which it did in 1957, when the country's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, declared Ghana as free forever from colonial rule. Ghana's independence marked a historic turning point in the governance of the country and became an inspiration to other anti-colonial struggles on the continent. Over the years, the country has set an example for the rest of Africa in trying to reconnect with the African diaspora dispersed by the transatlantic slave trade. In 2019, Ghana commemorated the Year of Return, marking 400 years since the first enslaved Africans were taken to the Americas. Following this initiative, many people of African descent were given Ghanaian citizenship. Last week, in a ceremony at the Ghanaian Embassy in Washington, Viola Ford Fletcher and her brother Hughes Van Ellis, two of the three last living survivors of the 1921 Tulsa massacre, were granted Ghanaian citizenship. The country has excelled in many fields over the years, including in sports, since making their FIFA World Cup debut in Germany in 2006. The Ghana Black Stars have appeared in the tournament on 3 further occasions, in 2010, 2014 and most recently 2022. These achievements gained them recognition as one of the leading nations in African football and the second to reach the quarterfinals in the World Cup, which they did in 2010. The U.S. government, through its Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, in a statement joined President Akufo-Addo and the people of Ghana in celebrating 66 years of independence, underscoring Ghana's commitment to shared values of security, democracy and economic prosperity in Africa and globally. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Igwenyiba.
That's it for the news, but before we go, a recap for main news headlines. President Adama Barrow presided over the 5th edition of the National Taxpayers Awards on Saturday, where the Gambia Revenue Authority awarded 35 businesses for their tax compliance. At the same Taxpayers Award, QCell Gambia Limited has received 3 national awards for its outstanding tax compliance performance in the year 2022. As the Ministry of Health nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign progresses, the team visited St. Joseph Senior Secondary School in Banjul to vaccinate the students. Over the weekend, Rosasto Junior International School held a speech and prize-giving ceremony to recognize outstanding students. In international news, China's premier has presented the Chinese government's work report as China's National People's Congress preliminary session on Sunday. That's all for this edition of the news. Join us at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching.